Hello again, as always, it is me, Indah Melindasari from ONEderland Consulting. I have over 10 years experience as a migration agent and was once a migrant myself, which gives me a unique insight into the process. Please like this video and click subscribe to get all the best Australian immigration content and updates. Before we start, I would like to give a mention to our sister company, Education One Australia. They handle all aspects of international studies in Australia, from finding you the right courses and institutions to assisting you in any issues that may come up, such as confirmation of enrollment or student visa cancellations or refusals, and helping you plan your post-study career and visa pathways. You may find links and contact information for them in the description. Now let's get started with the latest immigration news and visa updates for August 2022. Migration program planning levels announced for 2022-23. Increase across the board for application fees. Australia now open to unvaccinated travelers. Summary of visa changes that came into effect in July. Today we will be discussing the effects of the start of the new financial year. For those of you that are unaware of the federal budget process in Australia, basically the government purposes a budget for the coming year that is generally released in May each year. However, the budget comes into effect on July 1st at the start of the financial year. How does this affect immigration policies and visa programs? Well, essentially, this is when the proposed visa changes come into effect. It is when visa application fees increase, and it is also when the allocation of places for all the different visa programs and subclasses are announced for the coming financial year. That being said, our first story today will be about the distribution of the visa numbers for this following year and what this can tell us about the government's intentions for the immigration program. The total number of places allocated this year remains the same at 160,000. However, the distribution of these places is quite different from last year. We can see the predicted shift in priority away from family visas to skilled migration. Overall, there was around 30,300 place increase for the skilled visa program and a 27,300 decrease in places for the family visa program. This does not come as a surprise with the new government prioritizing dealing with the skilled visa backlog and trying to address skill shortages across the country. So where exactly were these new places allocated to? Well, there was an increase of 8,000 places for employer-sponsored visas from 22,000 to 30,000 places. Percentage-wise, the biggest increases were places for both the skilled independent visas and regional visas, which more than doubled. Places for the skilled independent visa increased from 6,500 to 16,652, while the places for regional skilled visas increased from 11,200 to 25,000 places for this financial year. As for the family visas, the decrease in places was mostly seen in partner visa allocations, which dropped from 72,300 to 40,500, which is more than 30,000 place decrease from the previous year. Child visas remained the same at 3,000 places, and there was a slight increase for parent visa places from 4,500 to 6,000 for this financial year. Overall, this is good news for work visa candidates with more spots available across the board, and hopefully in the coming months, most state and territory programs will be open for offshore applicants so skill shortages can be filled, and now not just move candidates from one job to another within the country, which might not be addressing the problem. Those of you wishing to apply for partner visas, should not be disheartened by the significant decrease in places, as there was a large increase in partner visa places in the last financial year due to the previous government dealing with the backlog of partner visa applications. So this is not a cut of partner visa places so much, as it is just returning to normal levels. Our next story, another change that comes with the new financial year, is the increase in visa application fees. There was a uniform increase of 3% across the board for all visa subclasses application fees, and as we reported in our last video, for the AAT fees as well. Some of the increase for popular visa subclasses include the application fee for the two-stage partner visa increased to 8,085 for both onshore and offshore applicants. The application fee for both the skilled independent, the subclass 189, and skilled nominated, the subclass 190, have increased to 4,240. And the application fee for the student visa subclasses has increased to 650, and the visitor visa application also increased to 150. For a full list of all the new visa application fees, you can find the link to the article on our website in the description below. Still on the track concerning application fees, not the cost but how it is paid. From July 1st onwards, applications fee for citizenship must be paid in Australian dollars and can no longer be paid in foreign currencies. Moving to our next story, on the July 6th, Australia fully opened its border to international travelers when the Health Ministry announced that unvaccinated travelers are now allowed to enter Australia without the health exemption that was previously needed. Before this, unvaccinated travelers had to get a medical reference and exemption if they wanted to enter Australia. This issue was put in the spotlight when the tennis player Novak Djokovic had his visa cancelled when he traveled to Melbourne to compete in the Australian Open. Novak actually had this visa cancelled twice, but the original cancellation regarded him supplying insufficient evidence to obtain the health exemption to enter the country. Previously, he will have to get a letter from a doctor saying that for health reasons, you are unable to get a vaccine for your own health and safety. Part of this change means that incoming arrivals no longer need to provide a digital passenger declaration or DPD. This was only a temporary measure installed to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic. Incoming travelers no longer have to provide a negative COVID-19 test result either. For our last story of the day, we will just do a run-up of all the changes that came into effect from July 1st. The first one, new pathway to permanent resident from the TSS subclass 482 working visa holders with occupation in the short-term occupation list. Previously, there was no pathway to PR for the short-term stream of the 482 visa. Replacement stream now open for the temporary graduate visa, the subclass 485, and a new stream for graduates that missed application deadline due to the COVID-19 travel restrictions and disruptions. The subclass 485 graduate work stream does not require nominated occupation and skill assessment temporarily. This is to encourage graduates to return and stay in Australia to help fill skill shortages. Now, at least temporarily, there is no need to do a skill assessment or to nominate an occupation for applying for the graduate work stream. We have covered these changes in more detail in our previous news videos, so feel free to go back and have a look, and you may read more on these changes at the links we have provided in the description of this video. Well, that's the run-up of all the changes and updates. If you have any questions about how these changes may affect you or benefit you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us, leave a comment or questions, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. You can find our contact details in the description and in the comments. So feel free to send an email or call with an inquiry, and our advisors will be there for all your visa needs. ONEderland Consulting is here to help you. As always, thank you for watching.